I'm Giacomo, and today I want to talk about maths. Maths has always been a significant part of our life, from buying anything in a shop to the most difficult operations. But what's our relationship with maths? Well, I'm a student, so at school I hear many of my classmates saying, I hate maths, I'm not good enough, it's not for me. And I think, do you think so? I mean, really? Because I think you're just underestimating yourself. Fortunately, I know people who don't get demoralized by a long, scaring equation, people who make effort, and no matter how the problem is big, they will waste all their energies on it. These people start with the idea that they'll solve their problem. So these people look at the problem as something that can be easily solved. They look at it as a piece of cake. Conversely, other people look at problems as something impossible, as something written in Chinese, and so they are convinced they don't own the right abilities to solve it, and so they don't even try sometimes. That's why I want to distinguish between fixed mindset and growth mindset. These two terms have been invented by Dweck. And so people who have a growth mindset, when they start problems, and because of the fact that they are problems and not exercise, there is a problem actually, and so they have to bypass the difficulty, but they get blocked. And so the fact that they are convinced they are unable is their mistake. Differently, there are also those who have growth mindset who are willing to improve, and so they consider failure as an opportunity to grow. And even though they're not sure of being able to solve their problems, they give it a try. They like having to think and to reflect and to face the challenge. So the real question now is how to switch from a fixed to a growth mindset here today. The turning point is to think that you have already solved your problem, is to think that you will solve your problem. And this is what will lead you to the solution. Not the calculator, not the operations, but just your inner conviction that you'll solve your problem. So this is to make you understand that it's up to us. It's up to how we look at problems. If we look at a problem positively, then we'll think that we are gonna face the challenge and we're gonna have many chances of victory. But what about if we look at a problem negatively? If we look at it by thinking that we have no chance of victory, what happens then? Obviously, we will never solve the problem. So I wanted to use a Latin phrase to describe this situation and to describe the fact that it just depends on us. So it's up to us, on our eyes. Indeed, I wanted to use this Latin phrase, which has been said by the Sibilla Romana. So, as you can see, the Latin phrase is ibis redibis non morieris in bello. Here there is just one comma after ibis. And so, because of the Latin construction, we can move the denial, so the denial both before redibis and also before morieris. So there are two possible translations. The first one is ibis, that means go, then redibis come back, and morieris means die. So the two possible translations are you will go, you won't come back, you will die on the battlefield. But it can also be you will go, you will come back, you won't die on the battlefield. So it just depends on our eyes, on how we want to look, how we want to read, and how we want to face the challenge. If we think that we are able, if we have grit, and we think we can survive, then we read that we are going to survive. Otherwise, we'll probably read that we are going to die. So this is, as you probably noticed, this is not just about maths problems, but it's also about life problems. That's why maths as a metaphor of life. As well as maths, obviously, also in life there are problems, and definitely harder. So now I want to talk to all those people who have problems, and problems that mostly they can solve. You can't say that you are not able, because it's not that. This is just a fixed thought. So when you have a problem, grit and resilience when facing it. When you think you're not good enough, now I'm talking to all those people who think they're not good enough in life. Do you want to lose the game? Do you want to give up? No one does. The key is to believe in your abilities, is to believe that after days and laborious adventures and threatening obstacles, you will have defeated your problem, your enemies, and most importantly, your prejudice.